basement if you have a basement, and stay away from windows. Go to the lowest level, go to an interior room, and stay away from windows, because obviously with tornadoes and very strong winds, you can get broken glass. A lot of flying debris can take place. So you want to go in a safe place away from windows. And also a good idea is to maybe stay in, well, obviously indoors, but go underneath a sturdy piece of furniture and protect yourself in case there is flying debris. So you might want to wrap yourself up with a blanket or a comforter. And if you have a football helmet or a motorcycle helmet, cover your head too with a helmet, because that can protect you too from flying debris. So again, our warning now for DeWitt and Logan County, a tornado warning now. And on top of the threat for tornadic activity, we've also seen some large hail. These thunderstorms so far today have had a history of producing golf ball size hailstones, and we've had winds actually in excess of 70 miles per hour. Earlier around the Elkhart area, we had peak winds there around 75 miles per hour. So a lot of destruction can be taking place with fierce winds, the tornadoes, and to the large hail. We'll put a tracker on these thunderstorms. They are moving very quickly off to the north and east. The latest tracker has these thunderstorms bearing down on the Barnett area about 346, Hayworth around 357, and a heads up for those of you around Wilson, 405. These thunderstorms again roaring off to the north and east at close to 55 miles per hour, so they are moving very quickly. Doesn't give you a whole lot of advance notice. So if you live anywhere within this swath area, please again seek shelter immediately and really hunker down, because these thunderstorms are really packing quite a punch. So our latest now is a tornado warning for DeWitt and for Logan County until 4:15. And we have much of the area still very prime for the possibility for more tornadic thunderstorms. We've had some very warm conditions today with temperatures in the low to mid 70s. The atmosphere is very moist and very humid and very unseasonably warm, and it's helping to fuel these thunderstorms, and they are popping up very quickly. Now, joining me this afternoon, we also have meteorologist Matt Bednar, and he's been tracking things very closely too. And we're also doing some live broadcasts down on Facebook, so we're trying to keep you as informed as possible, both on the air and also too with our social media. So again, it's a very volatile situation right now. Matt, do you have any more reports now coming in regarding the tornado warning?
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the rotation area. It's not super strong, but it's definitely something that we need to keep an eye on. It is probably just to right now, just to the northwest of the Barnett area, pretty much right in the middle of this uptick in our reflectivity. So that is currently what we're keeping an eye on. So right to the northwest of the Barnett area is what we are definitely want to keep that eye on in the area right now. So we have our strongest circulation right here just south of the Waynesville area, and we're going to continue to see this move to the northeast as we go throughout the next 20-30 minutes. And this warning goes until the next half an hour. So if you're in especially northern DeWitt County, you want to make sure that you're in your storm shelter. That's the most interior room. Put as many walls between you and the outdoors as possible. Obviously no windows. If you're in an apartment complex, you want to be on your lowest level. If you have a basement where the laundry room is at, or maybe even an indoor garage, car garage, that's where you want to be. So I would say areas in the Wapella area, Wilson, all the way into Barnett, you definitely want to be in your storm shelter. With Waynesville, we are also keeping an eye on it. Right now, I would say that the location of this rotation is pretty much right between Barnett and Waynesville. So that is right in this kind of area right here. This is pretty much moving directly to the northeast, and now it could eventually make its way over the ice, the Illinois Route 51 corridor. So this is what we're keeping an eye on, as this storm is producing quite the punch right now. So taking a zoomed out look, we have a lot of lightning within these storms right now. So these are very intense storms continuing to move across the area just north of the Decatur and Macon County line. So this including DeWitt, as well as our very northeastern portion of Logan County. Down the road, we also have a new severe thunderstorm warning just going into portions of Sangamon County right now. This doesn't into Sangamon County, but it does include pretty much all Macoupin. So right now, what that main threat is hailstones up to 1 inch in size, as well as wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So this is going to continue to evolve as we go throughout today. We have a tornado watch in effect, I believe, until 10 p.m. tonight for pretty much everyone east of the I-55, including all the way from Lincoln. So yeah, there we go. All those warnings. So everyone in this tornado watch should definitely keep weather aware for today, but we have that tornado warning in portions of Logan and DeWitt County at the moment. The rotation, not super impressive. Doesn't mean that it isn't something to keep an eye on, because we do have the imminent potential of that tornado touching down, as well as our radar scans are a couple minutes behind just as it's going through the process of coming in with all the new information. So that's their current tornado warning. As that cell's moving to the northwest, we get a zoomed in look there. Pretty much just moving exactly to the northeast, sorry, my apologies. But that's going to continue moving very quickly. This storm is moving probably close to 50, maybe even 60 miles per hour. And that's that little bit of a hook motion you have right there. So definitely keep an eye on it. It's going to move probably just north of Clinton. So if you're in Clinton, definitely be in your storm shelter. It's also producing very large hail, up to around ping pong size hail. So you definitely want to be in your storm shelter right now, as this storm is producing quite the punch. We've seen it move through our area, produce golf ball size hail. Now it's all the way up by DeWitt County, and it's pretty much just moving directly to the northeast. So places in the Barnett area as well as Waynesville, you want to be in your storm shelter. If you're in a mobile home, you want to make sure that you're putting yourself in a better situation. Mobile homes are usually not the best place to be at the moment. We'll see if I can get this on velocity to get a better maybe look real quick. Oh, you wanted to track it out, Cheryl?
I was just going to track it out, yeah.
Okay, I'll track it
I was going to show you some cities that are going to be included in the path of this latest tornadic thunderstorm that we're tracking right now. So it's moving off to the north and east. So the worst of the worst has been right here. It's between Clinton and Decatur. That's where some of the stronger thunderstorms are. But it's roaring off to the north and east. And as we put a tracker in these thunderstorms, we'll see where some of the latest activity is going to be heading. So there we go. The tracker, again, these thunderstorms are moving at us to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. On that projected course, they're going to be impacting places between Hayworth and all the way down towards around the Highway 51 here. Okay, here we go. Around Hayworth, about 401, Wilson, 405, and eventually Downs at 410. So it's generally moving off in this swath here for the north and the east. So we can't illustrate it or can't emphasize it enough that with the thunderstorms this intense, possibly spawning more tornadoes, very strong winds. We've seen winds already today around 75 miles per hour, and we've had reports too of ping pong ball sized hailstones with some of these thunderstorms. So they're very, very large, and that can cause a lot of damage both to your structure, to your homes, but also to your car. So make sure that you're definitely protected. Make sure you bring your car indoors. Make sure that you are in your safe place at your home, because these thunderstorms are really packing quite a wallop as they continue to charge off to the north and east. So again, our latest tornado warning right now is for DeWitt and Logan counties until 3 or 4:15 this afternoon. So we still have about 20 minutes or so with this tornado warning, and we will continue to keep you on air. We'll continue to bring more updates both on air and also too with our Facebook Live.
We just got a call in saying there's some hail in the Springfield area. No severe thunderstorm warning at the moment for the Springfield area, but a lot of lightning at the moment. We have gotten some reports of very large hail in
North Grand.
In the Latham area, where you've had up over 2 inches. So that's hen size, so a pretty big egg size hail. That could pretty much crack your whole windshield, really damage some of your sidings. And if you're near windows, that could pack a punch, even destroy windows. So blowing glass is definitely an issue. Right now, the only tornado warning in the area is for the rotation that's really right now between moving quite quickly. So now it's over the Wapella area, and it's moving pretty much directly to the northeast. We apologize for all of the loud noise. It is just really coming down here in Springfield at the moment. So places down the road from this will be Leroy at 407, Bucks at 553, as well as Carl Springs at closer to 553 as well. Holder down the road at 410. So this is already moving quite quickly, starting to get to the very cusp of our viewing area at the moment. It is at the moment the only tornado warning in our area. We're continuing to watch all the rest of the storms, but this is moving very quickly all the way through most of the viewing area at the moment. So this is what we're keeping an eye on. We still got a little bit longer. I will say the velocity isn't too impressive. Let's take a look at what they're going to cancel the tornado warning for Logan County. I've already done that. They're going to continue the tornado warning for DeWitt County at the moment. So this is starting to move into the very edge of our viewing area at the moment. But still, the possibility of a tornado is definitely there. So if you need to be in your storm shelter, if you don't know where your storm shelter is, it's either the most interior room of your building that is putting the most walls between you and the outdoors as possible. I'm going to try to get the velocity on for this. So that's the area of rotation we're keeping an eye on right there. I'll point it out for you guys here. That's the area of rotation that we're keeping an eye on with this storm. Very strong wind gusts as well. We've gotten reports of a lot of tree damage in the Logan County area, as well as hailstones over 2 inches in size. So these thunderstorms are packing a punch all across the region right now, and we're keeping an eye on all the information being sent to us by the National Weather Service. So this is currently the only tornado warning at the moment. So if you're near the Carl Springs area, you need to be in your storm shelter. This is continuing to move pretty much directly to the northeast pretty quick. This is moving around 50, 60, maybe even over 60 miles per hour. Let's see if we can get this storm motion detection from our National Weather Service partners. It's moving around 50 miles per hour directly to the northeast. So Bucks, you're pretty much right on it. Down the road would be Downs, Leroy. So if you're in the path of the storm, you need to be in your storm shelter, most interior room, lowest level. If you have a basement, that's the best place to be. And we're going to continue to give you guys updates. We'll be here pretty much all throughout the afternoon into the early evening hours. Let's look at any of the rest of the storms at the moment, as they're all really packing a punch. See if we get this severe thunderstorm warning to pop up. So this one now has wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour, and this is impacting pretty much all of DeWitt, now going all the way out to Piatt County, and as well as the northern edge of Macon. So this has confirmed 2-inch or greater hailstones. So that could really cause some damage to cars and windows across the area. And that is a considerable tag. It has been observed. We've gotten some reports from some of the areas of those hailstones, but the only tornado warning in the area is for the very northern edge of DeWitt County. As we're watching this rotation we currently have, not super impressive, but it is definitely getting picked up on radar right now as it moves closer to that very northern edge of DeWitt and the southern edge of McLean County.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of expand our vantage point here so we can kind of see what's going on elsewhere around the viewing area here. Go back to our radar here. Okay, so again, yeah, right now Springfield getting pummeled by some very, very intense weather. And again, our warnings continue currently for Christian, DeWitt, Logan, Menard, Logan County, also Sangamon County still under that severe thunderstorm warning till at least 4:30, so it goes for at least another 30 minutes or so. But we have been getting pummeled by very, very heavy downpours, very gusty winds, and the rain is just coming down in buckets. Very intense weather, and these thunderstorms have also been producing very destructive winds. We've had reports of winds over 70, 75 miles per hour, and of course we've seen tornadoes. Now also what we're watching too, there's another large cluster of thunderstorms coming up out of the St. Louis metro area, and they are moving again, as you can see as we put this into motion here. Thunderstorms are moving in a northeasterly fashion, and as they go up towards St. Louis and clip along the I-70 corridor, they could also skim across at least southern parts of our viewing area, so we'll have to watch that closely over the next hour or so as these thunderstorms are charging off to the north and east. But right now we have multiple counties under severe thunderstorm warnings, and of course included in that, it's mainly running from around the Bloomington area and Hayworth down through Springfield, through Clinton, all the way down into northern parts here of Macoupin County, still under severe thunderstorm warnings. But embedded within that band of thunderstorms, we have tornado warnings too that continue at this point. So tornado warnings right now, just mainly for DeWitt County and also too for portions of McLean County, and that goes for the next several minutes as well. So right now it looks as if some of the most intense weather close to Maroa, and also just north of there too, we see that intense band of thunderstorms, a lot of high reflectivity there. That's what we're seeing, Doppler radar possible circulation.
Yeah, if you're in the path of the severe thunderstorm, especially in DeWitt County, you need to be indoors no matter what, even if you're not in that tornado box, because we are getting reports of hailstones up to around 2.5 inches right now. So please be indoors. This is a very strong thunderstorm in the area, and it's producing all kinds of damage potential, very strong wind gusts, the rotation we've seen with that tornado warning, so with tornado possible, and as well as very large hailstones. We've gotten pictures all from the Logan County area showing hailstones over 2 inches, getting close to that 3-inch mark, which is destructive type of hail. So make sure that you are indoors. I wouldn't venture outside to move your car in because there's a lot of lightning within these storms. I think our tower here at the station got hit maybe once or even twice now. We've had a couple power flashes in our studio, or power flickers. So it's very, very dangerous situation going on across central Illinois, especially along the I-55 corridor right now, going all the way from Macoupin County all the way up into the Bloomington area. And we're going to continue to give you guys updates as much as we can. We're waiting to see more information about that tornado warning right now in northern DeWitt County and see if that's going to get continued. But obviously, it's going to be moving out of our area here soon. And we're going to continue to give you guys updates. We might be seeing another edge of it starting to rotate as well. Let's see if I can get that pulled up for us here shortly. Get the velocity on. Another edge to keep an eye on. It's definitely in the southern side near Creek. I would say this area is another one to keep an eye on at the moment. We're starting to see some of that spin in the atmosphere where those reds and greens are starting to move away from each other. So that's another area that I would definitely keep an eye on at the moment, as it's starting to look like we got some general rotation in that storm. But that rotation within that first severe thunderstorm warning has now pretty much moved well to our north. That's north of Wilson into McLean County now, very fringe of our viewing area. But I would say DeWitt County, you need to be in your storm shelter, because not only do we have tornado warning in the DeWitt County area, we're starting to see more rotation as well. If we have had observed hail over 2 inches. So this storm is really packing a punch. All 3 modes, very strong winds, very large hail, and the possibility of a tornado. We're obviously going to keep you guys updated as we go throughout today. We're keeping an eye on any rotation as it becomes more prevalent. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning for the Springfield area, and that is for wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, as well as hail up to 1 inch in size. So it's quarter size hail. And that's really our only other warning in effect for our area. It's starting to calm down here a little bit in the studio in terms of the rain, but it doesn't mean that we're out of the clear. It just means we're seeing a little bit of gap. Starting to see a little bit of downward tick in that reflectivity in our region in Springfield, but we are definitely keeping an eye on some rotation still aloft in the DeWitt County area, as that severe thunderstorm warning has a tornado possible tag, as well as that some of that rotation from that tornado warning has continued to move to the northeast, starting to get to the very edge of our viewing area. And we also got to keep an eye on all the cells that are not even in our area yet. We got more severe thunderstorms that will likely continue to move towards our region as we go throughout today.
So our tornado warning continues right now for DeWitt County up through McLean County, but as far as our viewing area is concerned, it's DeWitt County right now still under a tornado warning until 4:15, and we will continue to monitor that situation. But even outside where the possible tornado is, we are seeing a massive batch of thunderstorms right now. Very, very prolific lightning producer, heavy downpours with some of the worst right now close to Clinton and Maroa. These thunderstorms again have had a legacy of producing some large hail, ping pong, golf ball size hail, if not larger. We've also had some very strong winds over 70, 75 miles per hour with these thunderstorms, so they're certainly capable of causing quite a bit of damage. So again, take this situation very seriously. Multiple counties right now under severe thunderstorm warnings that extend from around the Bloomington area up now into Ford and Iroquois counties as well, now under severe thunderstorm warnings, as you can see. For Ford, Iroquois, Livingston counties currently under severe thunderstorm warnings until 5 o'clock this evening. Right now we're seeing just, there's going to be a possibility to see quarter-size hailstones and maybe winds, perhaps right around the 60 mile per hour wind criteria there for Ford and Iroquois County, but even more potent thunderstorms though are just to your south and west that are currently impacting places like DeWitt, Logan, Macon and McLean County and Pike County still under severe thunderstorm warnings as well until the bottom of the hour. And we've had reports that the hail 2 inches in diameter are certainly capable with these thunderstorms, and the winds too with the thunderstorms being clocked around 70 miles per hour. Closer to Springfield though, still seeing some severe thunderstorm warnings also in effect. Christian, DeWitt, Logan, Menard, Morgan, and also Sangamon counties still under severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, we've been seeing hail and some very strong wind gusts too, around 60 miles per hour. Right now, still seeing some heavier downpours very close to Springfield and just east of the capital. It's going to be approaching the Illiopolis area here very shortly, and Mechanicsburg too will get another round of showers and thunderstorms. Some heavy-duty rains headed your way as well. So we're going to see some very heavy rains, and there could be some issues with localized flooding, not just today, but more importantly over the weekend, because we're going to be dealing with more bands of showers and thundestorms on again, off again, even right through the upcoming weekend. But you can see this impressive band of thunderstorms as it's stretching from near the Rantoul area, Fort Iroquois County, stretching all the way down towards St. Louis. A band of thunderstorms with multiple warnings and watches right now in effect. Just to kind of give you another perspective, virtually all of central Illinois, especially for I-55 and points eastbound, still under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock tonight, meaning conditions are favorable around that watch area where you could see more violent thunderstorms, and thunderstorms certainly capable of spawning isolated tornadoes as well. And where you see the shades of orange, that's where we have severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for Fort Iroquois County, stretching down through Sangamon County. And of course, we've got that tornado warning too that officially stays at least in place about 10 more minutes or so, but that one too is also in effect here, and that is for DeWitt County. So multiple areas of concern right now going on.
Okay, we're getting
160 service outages, I guess, with Ameren in DeWitt County.
Not sure if that's I'm not sure if that's customers or if that's just individual outages across the DeWitt County area. Some other reports we're getting, some flooding on Cook Street in the Springfield area, Cook and Dirksen, I believe. So I would just stay indoors. So we got some flash flooding concerns as well as the very large hail, strong winds, and we still got that tornado warning in effect for DeWitt County. And there's a new tornado warning in that one area of rotation that I was keeping an eye on in our very western edge of DeWitt now, and that is definitely seeing an uptick in that rotation. If we could get the velocity back on real quick, I'll pull that up for us here shortly, and we could point out where that rotation is once again, as we're starting to see definitely an uptick in that rotation. I'll put a tracker on it. Where's that tracker? Here we go. So tracker, DeWitt County, you're going to keep an eye, DeWitt, you'll have it around 413, all the way to D-Land, you'll have it by closer to 419, all the way out to Mansfield by almost 430. So this is what we're keeping an eye on, as this storm definitely has the possibility and seeing a reintensification on that southern edge right there, just near the Nixon area. So that's what we want to keep an eye on towards Nixon, as we have definitely more broad rotation in the region right now, so we're keeping an eye on it. Yeah, go to the last couple scans. So we've definitely seen that rotation a little bit right here, as well as down towards it. So it's continued to push to that northeastern trend very quickly. Even just between a couple scans, it moved all the way from Creek all the way to DeWitt. So we got that rotation continue to move closer to the area right there. We got a little bit of spin in the atmosphere, showing that the reds are going away from the radar, and we also have the greens going toward. So that's what we want to keep an eye on, that little spinning rotation, and it's going to continue that northeasterly track going towards, I believe that's Farm City. So that's what we want to keep an eye on as it's spinning. We also got a little bit of rotation maybe near the Nixon area as well, and that's also going to continue to move to the northeast. We get this to pause here really quickly, that'd be awesome. And yeah, so the DeWitt area, and not only DeWitt County, but also just the city of DeWitt, you need to keep an eye on this, as we have some rotation being shown on radar. It is radar indicated, not confirmed, but it's definitely has seen a spin up, and it's moving towards the Farm City area. So if you're in Farm City, you need to be in your storm shelter, especially if you live between DeWitt and Farm City. You also need to be in your storm shelter. So once again, what that means, put the most walls between you and the outdoors as possible. So if you have a one-level home, you need to make sure that you are in the most center. If your bathroom doesn't have any windows, or you have a closet under your stairwell, that's the best place to be. If you don't have, if you're in a mobile home, I would try to find another place to take shelter. If you are in an apartment building, make sure that you're in your interior hallway, or especially if you have more of an outdoor building, meaning there's outdoor space between you and other apartment complexes, then you want to be in your bathroom away from windows, as we've really seen this storm uptick. A lot of lightning being produced, so don't go out there trying to look for a tornado, because there's a lot of lightning, large hail with the storm, and it's continuing that northeasterly track as it moves all the way into the very northeastern edge of DeWitt, going now, I believe, into, this would be Piatt County as well. So we have Piatt County under that tornado warning as well. A lot of lightning being indicated, but also that rotation right around here, continue that northeastern track as we go throughout the next several minutes. So this is another tornado warning in effect. We're not seeing that hailstone on there. And it's just going to be moving pretty much north of the Lind area, as well as Nixon, continuing into that very northeastern edge of DeWitt County. So that's what we're keeping an eye on at the moment. That's our other tornado warning. We also had that other one on the very north edge of Clinton, and that's continuing to push to pretty much the northeast. But at the moment, this is the one we got to keep an eye on, is in the DeWitt going into the Piatt County area.
Yeah, and we also have another meteorologist Darren Leeds is at our sister station in Champaign, and he's been monitoring the situation very closely as well. So we're going to toss it over to Darren now as he continues to track these tornadic thunderstorms working their way closer towards the I-57 corridor. Darren?
Yeah, and Cheryl, like you and Matt have kind of been talking about here, we continue to see that rotation within this thunderstorm that's working its way into eastern DeWitt County. Right now, just southwest of Farmer City, but it does have northern Piatt County in its track, and then eventually probably pushing its way over into northern Champaign County. So Rantoul area also going to be in range of this probably in about the next hour or so. But yes, those hailstones have kind of been dropping off a little bit as far as diameter goes. We've been seeing them now below that 1 inch range, but it does still look like latest scans have this bulk of the cell just kind of to the west of the Farmer City area. You can see those areas in pink here, and still radar indicated, so we do not have confirmation from any storm spotters on the ground out there of actually seeing or observing a tornado. So we continue to just kind of keep our eyes on things there. And like you guys said, we have been picking up those areas of rotation where we're seeing other colors mixed in with that red that is making its way away from our radar site, but definitely southwest of the Farmer City area, very good indication east of Clinton of where we are seeing that strongest rotation kind of within this storm cell itself. I'm going to step off for a minute here and we can drive around our radar a little bit as well, and also just keep our eyes on everything else that we are currently seeing. Let's jump over to our debris detector, and again, this kind of picking up on things that are not rain within that system. And so areas of concern would probably be, yes, in far eastern DeWitt County, starting to come into northern Piatt County, where we're seeing things in there that may be some debris, maybe some dirt, dust, but not rain. You can see that color change kind of happening right on the DeWitt and Piatt County border, where we get a pretty good indication that there is something else in there rather than just seeing the rainfall coming in with this storm cell. But let's jump back over to our live radar. Just want to continue to keep our eyes on those severe thunderstorms currently down around Sangamon County, southern Logan County as well, because we have been also picking up on areas of rotation within these other storms that have been coming through. But it did look like things kind of starting to intensify a little bit more as they progressed east of Interstate 55. So again, around the Farmer City area, D-Land, you guys are still under that tornado warning until 4:45 this evening. Let's see if we can get an update on any new storm activity happening there. Latest update was at 4:05, and again, eastern DeWitt County, northern Piatt County, we have a severe thunderstorm with radar indicated rotation, so capable of producing a tornado. Right now, it's 8 miles east of Clinton and moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So these storms definitely moving very quickly, but radar still picking up on that rotation signature as we talked about here, and flying debris with any possible tornado with these strong winds that we've been seeing accompany these storms is definitely going to be a big concern, especially for people who are caught outside. As Matt was talking about earlier, mobile homes, not exactly the safest place to seek shelter, but if you can get into the most interior portion of your home or your business, if you have a basement, that is going to be your best bet. But this storm definitely pushing its way eastward. Looks like it's going to be arriving around the Mansfield area closer to about 4:20. So about the next 7 minutes as it continues to kind of progress its way towards the northeast. Let's throw a little bit of a tracker on here and just see what other spots are going to be in the path. So Blue Ridge closer to 439. That's a little bit more than about 20 minutes or so. Fisher area over in northern Champaign County just before 5 o'clock. East Bend 5:06, and then Dix over around parts of southern Ford County about 5:19 as this storm continues to push its way towards the northeast. And again, making its way through very quickly. We're tracking this storm around 55 miles per hour at our last update, but still very dangerous storm potential here, and it does look like we are in store for a lot more activity as the evening continues. We've been just watching this line of storms progress its way out of Missouri and continuing to work its way here pretty much down along Interstate 55 right now, but you can see that big line where we have been picking up on a couple of those tornado warnings, a couple severe thunderstorm warnings nestled in there as well. And yes, we have, besides the tornadic threat that we are seeing with this, we've also been getting reports of some very large hail. In fact, I do have a hail picture just sent in to me by a viewer in Springfield a little bit ago, Ryan Jewell. Definitely you can see that hailstone here in his hand, easily 2 inches in diameter. So that put it a little bit bigger than about a golf ball as far as our diameter goes. But yes, can absolutely do some damage to your home, to your vehicles. And if you're caught outside in this, hopefully, Ryan, you waited until this was kind of cleared out a little bit to snap this picture and send it over to me. But just to kind of give you an idea of what these storms have been producing historically as they've been coming through central Illinois and continue to kind of develop. So again, right now, the central portion of this cell right over the Farmer City area, so does look like it is going to kind of clip far southeastern McLean County and work its way off towards the northeast. It's going to scrape around the Fisher area in northwestern Champaign County, as we talked about, and probably about the next 20 minutes or so at this point. But we have been seeing that hail size drop off. You can see right now we've been picking up on about 3/4 of an inch size with hail. And let's see if we can throw it back over to our velocity and where we're kind of picking up on that greater area of rotation. So to me, just south of Farmer City, right along Royal Road into northern Piatt County, west of Mansfield, and to the southwest of Blue Ridge. That does look like what we're seeing is with this higher potential of strong rotation within that storm. You can see we've got these green, gray colors kind of mixing within that red. Red is making its way away from the radar. That green is seeing that pull or rotation that's going back towards the radar. So again, that is something that we are continuing to keep our eyes on, but no reports of confirmed tornadoes just yet. And still, it does look like with our debris detector, right around the Farmer City area is kind of where we're seeing that better potential for some stuff that's not rain being picked up by our radars. But yes, red, typically you get those dark maroon colors, and that is going to be just that pure rain that's coming in with these cells. But once we start to see some of these lighter colors, the greens, blues, purples kind of mixing in, that tells us there's something else that radar is picking up on, and also a good idea of kind of tornadic debris detection where we can be seeing dirt, dust, just any kind of debris that storm would be kind of kicking up and then kind of rotating within itself if we did have a confirmed tornado on the ground. But yeah, starting to make its way just towards far northeastern DeWitt County right now. Does look like it is going to kind of scrape just far northern Piatt County, but this continues to be our main area of focus, as that is our one tornado warning that we do currently have in effect in central Illinois at the moment. Let's jump back over to our live radar and see what else we've kind of got brewing, because yes, we still do have quite a bit more storm activity. We do have this other severe thunderstorm warning that's currently in effect for Sangamon, Logan, and even northwestern Christian County. That's in effect till 4:30, so about the next 10-11 minutes, but still picking up on those larger hail diameters, 1 inch in size, wind speeds of 60 miles per hour, and we've historically seen larger hail and even stronger winds associated with these cells as they've kind of come through. And just about a half hour ago, we were seeing that 2-inch diameter hail get reported with some of that. Also, with that tornado warning, we do have an additional severe thunderstorm warning backing that as well, trying to kind of scrape out of it so we can get the information breakdown with that one. But also, you can see in DeWitt County, Macon County, McLean, and then over into Piatt. This one also producing some of that larger hail, as we talked about. Still getting 2-inch reports with radar wind speeds of 70 miles per hour, and that threat is considerable, so it is on the higher side. Let's get a latest breakdown from National Weather Service if we can. So still radar indicating that we are still picking up on that considerable hail size, around 2 inches in diameter. But this storm system still pushing its way off towards the east, northeast. And again, if you're in the zone of this, if you're in DeWitt, if you're in northern Macon County, southern McLean, and northern Piatt County, you're going to want to be getting into your safe space right now. Go to the most interior part of your home. Avoid windows. Put as many layers between yourself and the outside as possible, especially if we are talking about potentially seeing tornadoes get spawned from these severe thunderstorms. Then we are going to be concerned about flying debris, rocks, glass, pieces of wood, lumber, kind of anything and anything that those storms can pick up in and around your homes. Can be very dangerous, as those winds are going to be whipping around 80 plus miles per hour at their strongest. But again, we continue to have our tornado warning over in eastern DeWitt County, now starting to progress a little bit more into far southeastern McLean County until 4:45. So a little bit more than about 20 minutes at this point in time. And let's see if we can get some updates from the National Weather Service, if we've got anything. Sounds like in the Bellflower area in McLean County, they are sounding sirens. They're getting reports of hail that is between 1 to 2 inches. That is according to their emergency manager. We are getting reports from spotters in the Bellflower area, so expect the community itself is also going to be getting a little bit more of that hail activity here fairly soon. But that appears to be our most recent update with that. We are also still seeing that area of rotation making its way into DeWitt County. That was about 4 minutes ago, but straight line winds definitely going to be having an impact to Interstate 74, as we are still seeing this system kind of hovering in and around Interstate 74, around the Farmer City area. Likely going to scrape just past Mahomet, but Fisher area, you guys are still in the line of this cell as well as it pushes its way northeastward. Bellflower, again, we were just talking about that in southern McLean County, where we are getting those reports 1 to 2 inch hail that have been impacted the region. And it does look like the bulk of that hail is kind of just sitting to the southwest of town currently. Let's go back out and see what else we can pick up. We're going to throw back on our velocity, and again, looking for those areas of rotation, because concerns with tornado warning is that that severe thunderstorm can produce a tornado at any given minute, but this would be the area that I'm focusing on currently. So far northern Piatt County into that far southeastern corner of McLean County. So pretty much right in between Bellflower and Interstate 74. And we're watching that area of green that we can see. We getting some push and pull in there as well. All right, let's go back out. Because we do still have this very broad area of severe thunderstorm activity around Sangamon County. Storm tracks still picking up on that larger hail just north of Mechanicsburg. You can see that with this handy dandy tool up there, but still, yeah, 2-inch hail diameter and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Let's see if we're looking at areas of rotation in with this, and yeah. So here, far eastern Sangamon County, closer to the Illiopolis area, could potentially be seeing quite a bit of rotation happening there, and that'd be north of Burkhart over in Christian County. But again, these storms making their way off towards the northeast as they're kind of continuing to form in that line and making their way east and northeastward. Debris detector still not picking up on anything out in that neck of the woods. You can see it looks like it's just going to be purely rain around that area where we were kind of seeing that rotation being indicated. So that is good news. Right now, not seeing that tornado threat in eastern Sangamon County, but something we're always keeping our eyes on as far as what these cells are producing and are capable of producing. Now it shows we're starting to see that hail kind of drop off ever so slightly, especially on the northern edge of this, closer to Mount Auburn over there on Interstate 72 as you make your way east of Springfield. But definitely something we're keeping our eyes on, because again, these storms have a history of producing 2-inch hail. As I showed you a little while ago, we've got those reports from in and around the Springfield area of 2-inch hail diameter. So once again, that kind of puts our hailstones between about golf ball size to even egg size. So that's not something you're going to be wanting to be outside in. Don't be pulling your vehicles in, but likely can be seeing some damage to homes and vehicles along with that. Can take another broad view on just everything we've got going on right now. Now have that tornado warning extending into far northern Champaign County. And we all remain under that tornado watch until 11 p.m. this evening. So let's get back over in, because this cell, again, continuing to kind of stay on the stronger side as it makes its way through our eastern counties and nearing Interstate 57 at this point in time. Still looking for some kind of update that we can maybe get from the National Weather Service. Macon County Emergency Management is reporting possible funnel cloud on Bear Road near the Macon County landfill. But right now we don't have a tornado tag or tornado warning on that, but it would likely be possible rotation that they're picking up on. No confirmation on that, but that was reported by law enforcement over in Macon County. Still radar indicating some rotation within this storm that is pushing its way towards the Fisher area. And if we can jump back over to Champaign County. Again, the areas where we're starting to watch for that rotation is going to be when we're getting these mixing colors in there. So this little section of green near County Road 2650, closer to Illinois 47, just west of Fisher. That's going to be the area of rotation that we are going to be concerned about and continuing to keep our eyes on. That would likely be where we could possibly see a tornado get spawned by this system, but so far still just radar indicated, not having anything be confirmed by trained storm spotters just yet. Let's go back over to our debris detector that wants to continue to jump around a little bit. But yes, still seeing something in there that's not quite rain. Once again, just east of Blue Ridge, southwest of Fisher, north of Mahomet. And again, Mahomet area, right now it looks like you are in the clear from this as far as that threat goes. But you guys are not encompassed under that tornado warning right now. It is for northern Champaign County, and still we have that remaining in effect until 5:15, so we continue to see that get extended as this system remains on the stronger side and continues to progress off towards the east. But areas in northern Champaign County, Fisher, Rantoul area, you're going to be starting to see something fairly soon. Ludlow, Brown, and it does look like Champaign County and that Ford County line is going to be our cutoff right now. We've still got that residual warning from parts of McLean, DeWitt, and northern Piatt County. That's set to expire at about 4:45. So another 15 minutes, and now we do have a tornado warning in effect for the Macon County area. Right now, does look like it is extending from far western Macon County throughout the entirety of the county. That would include Decatur, Cerro Gordo over on the east side. But let's get some information and see what National Weather Service is letting us know about this. So 4:30 update just came in about a minute ago. That is in effect until 5:15, so the next 45 minutes. But severe thunderstorms, once again, capable of producing tornado. We haven't seen anything confirmed. We have just got radar indicated rotation that we're picking up on. We've been seeing those powerful straight line winds coming through. But right now, the bulk of this cell right over the Niantic area in western Macon County, 10 miles west of Decatur, and it's moving east at 50 miles per hour. So starting to have more of that pure eastward trajectory rather than seeing these storms taking that northeasterly track. But still does look like tornado is going to be one of our bigger threats with this. Those hail sizes have been dropping off. But let's throw a tracker on and just see what all we can kind of pick up on. So Niantic, like I said, we've got that cell pretty much right over top of you right now. Harristown can probably expect it a little bit more than about 10 minutes. Wouldn't likely impact Decatur until right around the 5 o'clock, the top of the hour. Oriana closer to 5:15. And then Oakley over in eastern Macon County closer to 5:20. So a little bit past the expiration time set right now on that tornado warning. Still got meteorologist Matt Bednar and Cheryl Lemke here with me. So let's throw it back over to you guys. And what are you guys seeing with this cell?
Thanks, Darren. Yeah, we're currently watching that rotation that was just south of Illiopolis, now moving into the very western edge of the Macon County area. This will likely start to impact the Harristown area closer to around the 437 mark and all the way down to Warrensville. You're on that very cusp of that warning right now, and that could go into effect. You could be seeing that storm really move into your area around 441. Decatur closer to 445, so you have around 12 minutes. Storms are moving quite quickly, so if you are in the Decatur area, make sure that you're indoors right now. And like we've been saying, put the most walls between you and the outdoors as possible. So if you have a single floor home, that would be in your in your bathroom. If you have even a stairwell or a closet that's the most interior, I'll see if I could get it pulled up right now, the best places to be in terms of a tornado warning for tornado safety. So yeah, please, if be in your closet, in the hallway where there's no windows, and especially in a stairwell, if you have a basement, that is by far your best place to be. And if you are in an apartment, we have a lot of those in the Decatur area. That you want to make sure that you are on your lowest floor, usually where the laundry rooms are, garages are best, and then if you can't get down there or it's not a really good spot in the basement, make sure that you're in the most interior hallway, and if there's not an interior hallway where it still has some outdoor access, make sure that you're in your bathroom away from windows. So that's the current situation right now. Taking a look at, okay, so right now we're watching this rotation right here in the very western edge of the Macon County area. It's moving pretty much east, northeast. Right now, probably going to go through the Harristown area and then between Hickory Point and Decatur. So if you're in the path of the storm, you need to be in your storm shelter. This is moving up very quickly. It's continuing that track out to the northeast. Now we do have a number that for people in the Sangamon County area to call to report any damage, any power outages. Can we get that pulled up for us? And we're still trying to get it up. But yeah, we have this tornado warning in effect for Macon County. Pretty much only Macon County is in this warning at the moment. This goes until 5:15. All right, scratch that, we don't have it, but we're keeping an eye on this storm as it continues to make its way through the Harristown area. And right now on radar, it's showing a little bit of an indent in that area that's having that rotation right here, but it's continuing to move quite quickly across the area. New radar scan already showing it moving very quickly through the Harristown area. Not super impressive on velocity at the moment. Cheryl, you got any more information on this storm?
So we were tracking this earlier. A lot of these thunderstorms were moving off to the north and east. This one's moving mainly to the east at about 50 miles per hour, but it was Doppler radar indicated very close to the Illiopolis area and also very close to Niantic. So we've been seeing some circulation definitely in this vicinity. Other cities that will likely be impacted will be Harristown, also to Decatur as it continues on this easterly trajectory. So please, if you live in these communities, seek shelter because this is a tornadic thunderstorm that we're seeing here, at least Doppler radar indicating some circulation here. And besides that too, it's a multifaceted storm system, so we're also seeing issues with strong damaging winds. Some of the thunderstorms earlier today definitely packing winds over 60, 70 miles per hour, certainly capable of producing quite a bit of damage. And we've also had reports of hail, although with this particular cell, they're showing 3/4 of an inch of hail, so it's less than quarter size, but we've definitely seen some of these other thunderstorms earlier today, definitely capable of producing some ping pong and golf ball size hailstones. So right now we're still under our tornado warning now for Macon County until 5:15. So please, if you live in this community, definitely seek shelter immediately. You want to go to the lowest level of your home and stay away from windows. And we have multiple counties. We also have Champaign County too, also under a tornado warning. This one goes until 5:15, as you can see. Really intense thunderstorms very close to Drummer, also not too far from Paxton, and approaching the Rantoul area, and then just south and west of there, our latest tornado warning now for Macon County. This one also until 5:15 for this evening. So again, these thunderstorms are again charging off towards the east at about 50 miles per hour as we put a tracker on these thunderstorms. Here's some of the other communities that will likely be impacted. Again, as we were mentioning, Harristown will be in the path as well at 4:39, Decatur at 4:46, and Sierra Gordo, and eventually Monticello after the top of the hour, shortly after 5 o'clock. So again, you've got a little bit of lead time here. So if you live in these communities, again, now's the time to really get into that safe place of your home. You want to go to the lowest level and stay away from windows because, of course, there can be some flying debris. Matt?
Yeah, so we not only have this tornado warning for the Macon County area, so if you're in the path of the storm, if you're in Macon County, especially on the middle and northern edge of it, that includes Decatur, you need to be in your storm shelter. But we also have another storm that we want to keep an eye on because it is still tornado warned, and that's all the way up here by the Fisher area. Now they have that rotation. I'll pull it up here on velocity here for you guys, that it was rotating pretty good at one moment. Just north of the Fisher area, we have a little bit of that still background noise from that velocity, but that's where we're keeping an eye on, right north of Fisher, northeast of Brown. So that's continuing to move to the northeast, which will eventually put it into likely Ford County. And looks like we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Ford County, with including 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, as well as hailstones up to 1.5 inches in size. And I'm pretty sure this will have a tornado possible tag. I want to confirm that with you guys. Yeah, it has a tornado possible tag, so that's the next one we're keeping an eye on. Let's see if I can get a better look on velocity than just that scan. Yeah, so that's definitely a little bit better. So we're seeing that rotation right here. If we go back a couple scans, it was definitely near the Foosland area, and then going north of Fisher, and it's continuing that northeasterly track. So if we put a tracker on this, it will continue that northeasterly track, going towards the Peach Orchard area, closer to 453, out towards Dix, closer to 446. And then the Loda area all the way out by almost 5 o'clock. So that's going to be going in our very northeastern edge of our viewing area. But this one is still a severe tornado warning for the very northern edge of Champaign County, and that's one of our 2 storms that are currently warned in the area. Going back down to our cell by the Decatur area, we are still seeing the storm move very, very quickly. Not super great radar indicated rotation at the moment, but the National Weather Service still says that the confidence is still pretty good that we are seeing some kind of rotation within this storm. I would say the rotation area is just along that eastern edge of Harristown, and that will continue to probably move towards the east, maybe making its way to either Hickory Point or to the northern edge of Decatur and all the way out to Whitmore. So you need to be in your storm shelter if you're in the middle northern half of Macon County. No tornado on the ground, nothing's confirmed yet, but radar indicated rotation is still pretty prominent, showing that's why we have that tornado warning still in effect right now. We're going to keep a look and see if we got any updates from the National Weather Service. Ford County, we have some pretty broad rotation. The northern Champaign County still remains capable of producing a tornado. That was a couple minutes ago. So pretty much both these storms are still able to produce a tornado. No tornado on the ground. Nothing's confirmed yet. We haven't had any tornadoes on the ground yet, but we've had a lot of different things. All 3 modes have been very active, including tornadoes and large hail. We'll get on the wall for you guys here shortly, but yeah, we're continuing to track this on that pretty much dead east track. So that goes to Decatur here, next 5 minutes. We'll get an update on our radar to show you guys where that's at here shortly, as we get around 5 minutes between each scan as that data gets sent in from the radar and developed and then put out onto that onto our graphics. So continuing to track that easternly out to Whitmore, all the way out to Willow Branch, all the way down the road, and that goes all the way out, and I believe, into Moultrie County. So that's what you want to keep an eye on as we go throughout today. And you definitely could tell with that supercell all the way up to our north on our other warning that it has a little bit of that hook motion on that northern edge of Champaign going into Ford County. You can see that hook echo going in, a little bit of inflow right there on reflectivity. So that's where we're having that spin, and it's now to the northeast of Fisher. That's also pretty much to the southeast of the Drummer area. So that's continuing that northeasterly track. That'll eventually go all the way up. There's no new warning for the Ford County area yet, but we'll continue to monitor it until that expires. So we also still got that warning out for the Macon County area, and then pretty much the rest of the region that has any kind of active weather is starting to see it pretty much along the I-55 corridor eastward, all the way from Springfield going out to Decatur, and then getting just shy of the Champaign area. We have no other severe thunderstorm warnings in effect besides those regions, and we have the 2 tornado warnings right now. Nothing's confirmed on the ground, but we still have radar indicated rotation. So that's what we're keeping an eye on. So why we're continuing to give you guys wall-to-wall coverage as we go throughout today, and especially as these storms continue to move into the area, we have definitely the possibility of more storms getting tornadic.
Yeah, if you live around the I-57 corridor, maybe Coles, Cumberland County, around Charleston, Casey, Mattoon, you might be thinking, well, nothing's happening just yet, but it is just a matter of time, because this has been a very impressive squall line that we've been tracking. Again, within that band of thunderstorms, we've also had some isolated tornadoes that have been spinning off, so it's a very, very potent, very powerful batch of thunderstorms right now that continues to charge off towards the east-northeast. And so even though it's nothing happening much just yet here around the I-57 corridor, it is just a matter of time because the weather will be steadily deteriorating as we go through the rest of the afternoon into the early evening hours. And as we take a look at some of these tornado warnings that we have in effect, mainly right now for Champaign County, but also to back over towards Macon County too, right now still under these tornado warnings. Those are the two most active tornado warnings right now. But there's a whole slew of communities from Ford and Iroquois County, stretching all the way down through Sangamon County right now, that are under severe thunderstorm warnings. So this is our main batch of thunderstorms, and within that batch, again, we can see these isolated tornadoes being spun off because the atmosphere is still very prime, very conducive for the possibility for tornadoes. And where you see the boxed areas here in yellow, well, all those communities, especially from I-55 points eastbound, all of us will be fair game to see the possibility of these isolated tornadoes, against strong winds, very, very large hail as well, because we're under a tornado watch in these areas shaded in yellow, and that watch continues until 10 o'clock tonight. So we still have a few more hours of the possibility for some really, really rough weather. You can see here's our tornadic probability. We have at least a 10% chance of seeing tornadoes, and especially where you see the hatched areas, that indicates significant tornadoes possible. And we're especially primed for seeing some nasty weather too over the southeastern part of our viewing area around Paris, stretching down towards I-70, down towards around the Terre Haute vicinity. There we have at least a 15% chance of seeing tornadic thunderstorms. And again, they could be significant. They could be some very big, potent EF1s, EF2 tornadoes throughout this area, in that hatched area. So it's certainly a tornadic prone area, especially over the southeastern communities there. At this point, again, we have a few tornado warnings that continue. Macon County is the most recent one. We've been seeing circulation. This is all Doppler radar indicated, but there's been some circulation around Illiopolis, then back over towards around the Harristown area. And these thunderstorms are again working their way eastbound. So heads up around Decatur, also to around Whitmore. You will eventually get into the act here as well. At this point, again, our tornado warning for Macon County. This goes until 5:15 for this afternoon. Besides the threat for tornadoes, we've also seen some large hail and very strong winds, as winds could easily be clocked over 70 miles per hour. And with these very, very destructive thunderstorms, they can cause a lot of damage. So we're advising that you definitely stay indoors, get into that safe place of your home. If you live in Macon County, you'll want to go to the lowest level of your home. Hopefully you go into a basement. If you don't have a basement, that's still okay. Go to the lowest level and get into an interior room and stay away from windows because, of course, there can be some flying debris. You're looking at the velocity or the reflectivity mode here. We're seeing circulation here because there has been some circulation here spinning off here. Typically when the winds are going away from the radar site, it's in the shades of red. When the winds are going towards the radar site, it is green. And we're seeing those couplets, which indicates a sign of circulation. So again, we've been watching this very closely here over Macon County, some circulation, and it continues to move off towards the east, northeast here. Here's a circulation right here, very close to the Harristown area. We're seeing those couplets, and again, that's indicative of showing us circulation and showing us signs that there's a possible tornado in that area. We've been also seeing some tornadic activity too farther to the north, and we're also seeing this big pooching area here, which indicates some very strong straight line winds. So a lot of damage possibly with these thunderstorms as they continue to charge to the north and east. We have yet again more warnings here around Christian, DeWitt, Logan, Macon, Piatt, and Sangamon County still under those severe thunderstorm warnings at this time. So.
Yeah, I just got a couple updates from the National Weather Service. So the tornado warning that was in northern Champaign County has been canceled. It hasn't really looked too prominent. I also will say that we are going to see this completely shaved down. Decatur area, you're pretty much not in this tornado risk. The velocity or rotation has definitely decreased. It's just made its way towards your area, so that's good news for the Decatur area. But there's some other things we want to keep an eye on. That's towards the Friends Creek area, also going into the very southeastern portion of DeWitt. We're starting to see what we are usually is a little indent in the velocity, showing some of the winds are starting to turn inward. That's where you get those greens that start to show up right along this edge. So I would keep an eye on southeastern DeWitt. That also would go into Piatt County as well as very northeastern Macon. But that tornado warning that was for at one point for the Decatur area has been really shaved down, really only for the Whitmore area, Oakley, and now Friends Creek. So this is continuing to have the possibility of producing a tornado. Nothing's been confirmed. Not really have seen a great radar rotation signature within any of these storms, besides maybe that first storm near the Clinton area, where we actually probably got some videos showing some either dust being blown up and circulated as it moved across the area. But right now, our only tornado warning in the region is this one that's in pretty much in Macon County, and this will continue until 5:15. So you have another 30 minutes or so, 27 minutes, and this will continue that northeasterly track. Let's go a couple scans back. So you can see that bow echo starting to form along this line, showing very strong wind gusts, and that's why I believe this severe thunderstorm warning also has a 70 mile per hour considerable tag, so very strong winds as well. So this could knock down power lines, some small trees, damage your roofs. So be indoors. You don't want to get hit by any flying debris. And we're also seeing that little bit of an inward notch right here, just to the northwest of the Friends Creek area, where you're starting to see some rotation as well. And that's being told from us from the National Weather Service office in Lincoln. So that's what we're keeping an eye on right now. It would be for the very southeastern portion of DeWitt County, as well as the very northwestern portion of Piatt County, and still portions of Macon County. So Macon County, you're the only ones that are in a tornado warning at the moment. This will continue for the next 26 minutes until it expires at 5:15. So areas that I would keep an eye on if this is moving pretty much to the east. It doesn't look too impressive. We're definitely seeing it maybe more bow out. We are seeing maybe the Goose Creek area, the southern side of Nixon. You have to keep an eye on it. Down the road, this could go to Sangamon, and if this continues to strength, it'll go right over some of the same areas that had those tornado warnings earlier, where that would be going all the way out towards the Lake of the Woods area and then Fisher. So that's what we're keeping an eye on right now, as that's our only tornado warned storm at the moment. Looking around the rest of the area, we have this huge severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see, we just got that most recent scan. Just want to make sure that's okay. It's still showing very strong winds, but this severe thunderstorm warning across the area has a considerable tag. It has wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. We'll go back to reflectivity here. So a lot of activity going on across the area. South of our region, we have this other severe thunderstorm warning that eventually likely go into the Fayette County area. Down the line, no other active tornado warnings, which is a good sign, but we still have this one tornado warning for the eastern half of the Macon County area. Now we have also a live view over the Springfield area. Not only have we gotten very large hailstones up to 2 inches in size, we've also gotten very strong wind gusts that have caused roofs of some manufacturing buildings in Logan County area to blow over, a lot of semis being overturned. But we also have had torrential downpours within these storms. So a lot of rain has fallen on areas that, sometimes haven't gotten the rain over the last couple of weeks. So that's what we are keeping an eye on. Also see if we could get anything on our velocity towards that region, just to see if there's anything else at the moment. So we have a new severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like, all the way up here, and that's for Champaign, DeWitt, McLean, and Piatt, and then now Vermilion County. So they're very closing in on the Hoopeston area, and that's also for radar indicated 70 mile per hour wind gusts, as well as, I'm going to take a look and see if it does have a tornado possible tag, and that's likely from some of that surge that we're seeing within this line. Maybe a little bit of an embedded quick spin up tornado is possible. We still have this warning towards the Whitmore area as it continues to move pretty much towards the east-northeast, and this will impact the very eastern edge of Macon County as we go throughout the next several minutes. And we're keeping an eye on this bowing edge, as you can see some of the returns on some of that velocity is very high up. That's probably 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts right there, as well as north of Friends Creek. So that could definitely cause some damage in the area. We've already had a lot of reports of damage. Let's see if we get some storm reports. If we have that available, let me go and find that for you guys. So no tornado on the ground. We only have one tornado warning, and it's in Macon County at the moment. And we'll continue to watch that one as it continues to move to the east, as we have that little bit of a bowing section now being formed in front of it, likely diminishing some of that potential. We also have one of our reporters out setting up for a live shot. We'll get you guys that whenever he is ready. And we're going to continue to keep an eye on all this weather as we go throughout this afternoon, no matter, especially if there's a tornado warning in effect. We'll continue to do wall-to-wall coverage. But right now, we only have one tornado warning in effect, and that's for the Macon County area. But we definitely keep an eye on this line, this bowing edge, going into the there we go. Looks like we just got the Macon County one canceled. So that's what we're keeping an eye on. But we still have very strong wind gusts within this storm.
Yeah, I just want to kind of recap some of the damage reports that we've had coming in. We had reports of 2-inch size hail, that's egg-sized hailstones that hit parts of Springfield, especially around Piper Road. We had reports of egg-sized hailstones as well around Lathan, half-dollar size hailstones from Mount Pulaski, and of course with all the storms that we've been seeing too, there's been some heavy downpours, and we've also had issues with some localized flooding, and there was certainly some flash flooding taking place around Cook Street, around East Dale, and also around the Dirksen area. So again, some really intense weather going on, and at this point we still have the possibility for tornadoes going on, and we have severe thunderstorm warnings also that remain in effect. And our severe thunderstorm warnings encapsulate many different communities from Champaign County, DeWitt County, back through Piatt and Vermilion County, all under severe thunderstorm warnings right now until 5:30. And then just farther to the south and west along that same band of thunderstorms, we continue that all the way down into portions of Decatur, around the Decatur area, Christian, DeWitt, Logan, Macon, and Piatt, and also parts of Sangamon County, still under severe thunderstorm warnings too, officially until 5:15 for tonight. So again, this is a multifaceted complex of storms. We have not only the possibility for some isolated tornadoes, but also too some large destructive hail, and we can see some really powerful winds. We've had some wind gusts around 70 to 75 miles per hour or so. So these thunderstorms again are moving pretty quickly off to the north and east. If you live anywhere around the I-57 corridor, you may not be experiencing anything just yet, but these thunderstorms are headed in your direction, so now's the time to start making those plans and preparation in advance of these thunderstorms that continue to charge off to. The general line is that these thunderstorms are moving from west to east, but the individual cells are really racing to the north and east at speeds of close to 55, close to 60 miles per hour at times, so the thunderstorms are moving very quickly. Now we're also keeping close tabs on what's happening very close to the St. Louis area, because these thunderstorms are continuing too as they come out of St. Louis, and as they work their way northeast bound, they could be skimming over portions of Macoupin County, also to maybe Fayette and Effingham counties here very shortly. So we'll have to watch those as well, because these thunderstorms have also had a history of producing isolated tornadoes. So a major swath of heavy-duty showers and storms right now bearing down on the land of Lincoln as the thunderstorms continue from Ford and Iroquois County, around Champaign and Rantoul and Urbana, all the way down towards Staunton and down towards around the St. Louis metro area. So nasty thunderstorms right now, really giving us inundating rains, frequent vivid lightning, and of course too we had some isolated tornadoes as well. So it's been a very active afternoon to say the least, and I do think the threat for severe weather is going to be with us at least for a while longer. There are many areas that are still under tornado watches, meaning conditions are favorable in and around the watch area for more violent, intense thunderstorms. So it basically encompasses most of central Illinois, most of our viewing areas. You can see the areas in yellow indicate the tornado watch, which officially goes until 10 o'clock. It may be expiring before that, though, because it looks as if these thunderstorms are moving so quickly. It looks as if most of the activity should be pretty much out of our area, we think, by about 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight. But in the meantime, still under tornado watches. And again, we have severe thunderstorm warnings for many communities from Ford and Iroquois County, stretching all the way down towards Sangamon County, which does include, again, around the Springfield area here. So a lot of activity going on. It has been a very tumultuous afternoon, to say the least. Some very nasty thunderstorms that continue across the region.
Yeah, I would say at the moment there's no tornado warnings in the area, but another cell to just keep an eye on is it's going to keep going into the another storm that could be keeping an eye on is now going back into Macon County, and this is not warned, but some of the things that we see on our reflectivity that start to show another round of maybe some rotation pushing inward would be towards this area right here. So that's, you know, the western edge of Macon, as well as the very southeastern edge of Logan, and this will continue. Nothing warned in terms of tornado warnings, but it is something to keep an eye on, especially since this severe thunderstorm warning that includes Christian, DeWitt, Logan, Macon, Piatt, and Sangamon County does have a tornado possible tag. So that does mean that there is the possibility that some of these storms could still produce a tornado. While nothing's imminent at the moment, it is something to still keep an eye on. And we'll see where these storms are going. So they're pretty much going to the northeast. This one's maybe taking a very northeasterly track. That would probably push it all the way out into our DeWitt County area as we go throughout today. And that will go all the way to the Illini and then to Texas, Clinton, and areas as well as we go into the 5 o'clock hour here shortly. So that's what we're keeping an eye on. Right now, no tornado warnings at the moment. We're going to continue to give you guys wall-to-wall coverage at the moment, especially as we're about to go into our 5 o'clock hour. Yeah, we got about a minute into our show starts. We also have a flash flood warning now in effect for a lot of the area as well as Champaign, DeWitt, Logan, Macon, McLean, and Piatt counties, as we're likely seeing our rain totals really pile up within some of these storms, especially since some of these areas haven't seen a whole lot of rainfall over the last couple of weeks. Definitely have a flash flooding concern. We had some flash flooding reports in the Springfield area too, where we had torrential downpours and a lot of lightning being sought as we went throughout this afternoon. And like Cheryl said, the severe weather potential continues for the next several hours. I would say probably not going to be dying down probably for the next few hours, probably going into the early evening as well.
Yeah, right now the most active band here is near from Watsika and Rantoul all the way down towards Taylorville, and we've been seeing some pretty much nonstop heavy-duty showers and storms, and we'll have more coming back right after this.
Live from our studio in Springfield, you're watching News Channel 20 at 5.
Coming up tonight at 5, we've been preparing for severe weather. We've been wall-to-wall for hours now, and it hit some parts of central Illinois. We are taking a look at what's happening right now in Springfield. Our Spencer Davis is in Lincoln getting a look at that damage.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Dawn Sterling.
And I'm Stacey Skrazak. We, as mentioned, have been preparing and warning you about that severe weather chance all week.
Certainly have, and here is video of the rain we saw in Springfield. This was just outside of our news station this afternoon. Torrential like downpours. Other parts of central Illinois have seen it, from thunderstorms to wind and reports of hail.
Our Spencer Davis is in Lincoln, where buildings were damaged by wind. But first, we want to go back to Cheryl for that check of the forecast. Cheryl.
Well, ladies, I'm glad to say, at least at this juncture in time, no tornado warnings currently in effect, but we have a whole slew of communities right now still under severe thunderstorm warnings. We have been getting pummeled today. These thunderstorms have been really